A girl with braided dark hair sat on the icy floor. Her condition was not enviable: blood on her cheek, a fresh wound on her shoulder, and despair in her heart. Her thoughts swirled haphazardly, longing for peace, but to no avail. She grabbed a pillow from the bed and huddled against it. It didn't help anything, of course, but at least it would keep her warm somehow. If it hadn't been for what had happened, she'd be enjoying the calm in her cozy room right now, reading a book. But she was brought here. No one could endure this long, but not her, Agneta. She believed she could escape. Her name was Agneta, but here she was known as number 97. It was a nice day, the sun was setting, and the noise of conversations overpowered the murmur of the water. She liked to just sit on the bench and think about nothing, and people saw something strange in her. Maybe they were right. Everyone has their own cockroaches in their head, they just don't know it. That's where fate comes into play. And now she, too, finds herself in Agneta's world. These ever-smiling creatures, reflections of someone's past, or as they are called, the angels of death. They came uninvited and ate all the food. Not even Billy Boy's lollipop was left untouched. The guests scattered, but Agneta tripped over a branch and fell, and it was all over. For those who find themselves in the prison of the angels of death, it seems like a dream, an illusion. They think a magician is about to break them out, but no. No one knew why they were being held and tortured, but every night someone disappeared. We don't know where to. Whether he is alive is also unknown. This was the question Agneta was asking herself, crossing out day after day on the wall. 451. She smiled weakly and sat down, adjusting her dirty, ragged dress. And then there was a whisper and a rustle outside the door. She knew who it was and why. It was feeding hour. The handle of the door turned and the angels of death stood before Agneta. Their eyes were hidden under a mask, but their smiles remained open. One placed a plate of porridge in front of her, the other held out a glass of milk. A dead fly floated in it. Agneta silently took the food and went to the bed. The door closed, but the smell remained. She realized that they were human beings too, prisoners of this prison. They were becoming angels of death. They were not dying, they were immortal. Their power was growing by the hour. Soon they would cover the whole world. Most chose death, but it didn't always work out. Agneta tried to take a spoonful of porridge, but she felt nauseous. She sat by the window and looked out at the street. People were rushing. They didn't see this prison. They saw the tall skyscraper and the tired workers. Agneta tried to launch a paper airplane, but it was run over by cars. She didn't remember when they had come, but she felt the pain acutely. They were pulling out memories to pretend in front of their relatives. Agneta lay on the bed as if restrained. A bright light flooded the room. Happy birthday. Mom put the cake in a plate. Myrtle the dog rejoiced, too. A present for our princess, Uncle Stefan smiled, pulling out a box. Look, what is it? Agneta asked. A puppy appeared out of the box. A puppy. It was so small that it could hardly stand. Everyone laughed. What will you name him? Uncle asked. Agneta thought for a long time and named him Johnny. The memory disappeared and she just cried. She was carried away, but she must not become like them. She took the blade and made a cut on her neck. Number 97. It sounded as Agneta's eyes closed. She felt lighter at heart. She saw her room, bright and beautiful. And outside the window the water was gurgling, drowning out all sounds.